Hey guys, so we have another video. Why does it just get more awkward every time I start a new video? It's just like, I don't know what to say at this point. Okay, social media will be in the description along with my beauty channel. Anything else you might need to find will also be over there. And let's get into it. Also, I'll be replying to comments for the first hour after posting today's video. Just like every video, if you want a response or a higher chance of a response, then comment. Let's start with Tana Mongeau being yet another friend to speak out about James Charles. So if you guys don't know, James Charles has been accused of messaging people he shouldn't be messaging. And there are a few people who are defending him in some way, shape or form. So we have Gabriel Zamora with his podcast. He basically just went on this big rant about how we're all calling James something that he isn't because he didn't actually touch a kid, I guess. He didn't do what we're saying he's doing, even though he's messaging people he shouldn't be messaging and doing stuff he shouldn't be doing. And he admitted in his video that he did stuff he shouldn't be doing. So why are we still debating this? Why are we debating whether he's right or wrong when he himself has said, I did something wrong? Except he then made a bunch of excuses for why he did that thing, as if that matters in any way, shape or form. Then we have Nikki Tutorials, who hasn't spoken out about James Charles, but in her recent video, she has used his palette in her video in front of millions of fans. That is endorsing his behavior, whether we like it or not. That is endorsing his behavior. I love Nikki, I love watching her videos, but at the same time, sometimes it's better to just stay silent if you're going to say the wrong thing or give out the wrong message. I just feel like using his palette in front of your fans while he's doing this whole thing. Then we had Noah Beck, who in an interview basically said, we're supporting James, we're talking to James, he's doing fine, he's going to come back to the internet, he's James Charles, of course he's going to come back, doing this whole thing. Noah should really have a new PR team, because whenever that man opens his mouth, I'm just like, who let you speak? Who said this was going to be a good idea? The Bahamas thing, where he was just like, we just needed a break, our life is so stressful, we just needed a break. And I'm like, oh my god, hire a PR team. Hire a PR team to tell you what to say, because it's getting ridiculous. Oh my god. And then we had Manny Mue recently posted a video where he didn't actually say anything about James, but also said a lot about James. He was complimenting Frenemies and Trish and Ethan and basically saying how what they're doing is really important, and how even though they've been talking about one of his friends, he still feels like what they're doing is important, which to me implies a certain level of not being friendly with James. Even though Manny did, he was in the last video on James Charles's channel before the whole scandal broke, and he hasn't spoken about it since. But I feel like him basically saying I love Frenemies, I love what they stand for, is a big sign of I think James f***ed up. So since then we had Tana Mongeau, who posted this TikTok. I'll play it for you guys. Where she's, as you can see, with Gage, and they're basically saying it's lovely to see someone who you've had a bad thing about finally get cancelled. And this was happening right at the same time as Sienna's scandal. I'll get into that in a minute. And people in the comments thought it was either about Sienna, but then basically Gage said, I don't even know who Sienna is, it's not about Sienna. Then someone else said, it must be about a guy, and Tana liked that. And then someone said, we all know this is about James, and Tana Mongeau liked that comment. So this is about James. If you guys don't know what happened, recently Kat, who is the writer for Insider, went through a bunch of tweets from Tana Mongeau, and she found one where Tana was defending James, and she was like, I saw Gage, manipulating my friend and doing all of this stuff. And then when Kat reposted those tweets, Tana responded to that and said, I was manipulated by James Charles to say stuff that weren't true, and now me and Gage are super close friends. So if Tana, of all people, has now turned on James and basically said no, what you did was messed up, I'm now friends with Gage, that speaks volumes on this whole situation. So this happened, and obviously now she's posting TikToks about it. Now she's also recently been called out for scamming people. So this TikTok, I'll play it for you guys. Where they sent her their merch in PR and she sold it on Depop. As if she doesn't make enough money on OnlyFans. She could have just given it to a homeless shelter or something. I don't understand people that sell PR, because usually if you get a lot of PR to the point where you can't keep all of it, it means you are probably financially really well off. So if you're getting PR for free that you don't want, how about you take it to a women's shelter, so that someone who can't afford makeup and is just trying to rebuild their life can actually put on some makeup, feel good about themselves, go find a job, or just try and improve their life in some way, shape or form, instead of selling it to people. Because you make enough money. If you're getting a lot of PR, you make a lot of money. That's just how it goes. That's how it is. It infuriates me when people do that. like my second channel, it's 150,000 subs. I get sent PR from a handful of brands. So if you're getting PR from 20 brands, 30 brands, 40 brands, it means you're on about 1 million subs. If you're on 1 million subs, you're making enough money to not have to sell PR. Please stop selling PR. Please just give it to a homeless shelter or a women's shelter or any other shelter that helps people who are not financially well off. Thank you. Let's move on. So there's that happening. And then there's Francesca drama. So if you guys don't know, Harry Jowsey and Francesca were on Too Hot to Handle, which was like a reality TV show about dating and stuff. They got out, they were a pair, they were dating, they broke up for reasons unknown. Well, known, but like it became a whole drama mess. Harry and Tana then became friends. They make a lot of TikToks about like, are we messing each other? Are we not? Are we hooking up? Are we not? Like just a bunch of TikToks. Anyway, Harry then gets back with Francesca for the 1000th time and she makes them delete a bunch of TikToks with each other. So one of them being when apparently Harry's birthday was happening and he made 2 different parties. One which Tana was invited to and one which Francesca was invited to because he knew it would be drama. So they had 2 dinners out.
Did you have to have 2 separate birthday dinners? One for me to come to and one for Francesca to come to?
And she filmed a TikTok on that and he filmed a TikTok on that and Francesca made them delete that TikTok. Then Francesca like messaged him a bunch of stuff about Tana. Now they're broken up again, Francesca and Harry. So like, anyways, there's just a bunch of drama with Francesca and Tana happening right now where Tana's shading her a bunch in TikToks.
Fun fact, actually really sad fact, Francesca made Harry delete the TikTok we made last night and tried to make me delete mine. I'm so sorry, you're so threatened by our friendship, sweetie. Harry forgave you because he wanted to hit in Mexico, but I have no interest in hitting ever again, so f*** you. But I think it might be time to text my ex back because this is all a little too hot to handle. And if you have such a problem with my existence, Francesca, and my friendship with your ex, why don't you text me? Because you seem to be able to write my name just fine in all of your TikTok comments.
It's just a lot. Okay, it's a lot of drama. And then I think that's it for Tana Mongeau. So Sienna Gomez, I said I'd mention this as the last story for today. So Sienna is a 17-year-old TikToker who grew on TikTok due to kind of like her body positivity messages that she was sending. It's weird because her career started from shading Olivia Ponton for making a TikTok where she was like, oh my god, I just ate so much, my tummy's sticking out. And then, so she poked fun at Olivia for that. And that's how she grew and turned into like this body positivity queen. And now she's making the exact same content as she shaded Olivia Ponton for. Like, me before tacos, me after tacos. And then she gained like an inch on her stomach area. As you do, because you bloat. It's just a normal human function. It's fine. So yeah, anyway, besides the point. She's 17. She was dating this guy called Jack. Dating kind of like they weren't actually official, but they were doing like a lot of coupley stuff. Anyway, so Sienna and Jack break up, okay? Well, break up their like unofficial relationship. Jack's friends, Jason and Mason, Jack's friends, James and Mason, then go on Twitter and start accusing Sienna of SA, verbal abuse, a bunch of things, okay? It was very disgusting stuff. Then a bunch of high school friends of Sienna's start accusing her of being body shaming, mean in high school, that kind of stuff. So Jack actually doesn't accuse Sienna of anything. He just kind of likes tweets, retweets stuff, but he's never actually saying like, yes, this is all true, this is all factual, James and Mason are right. Never says it. So Sienna then releases a statement on Instagram, IGTV, and on her YouTube channel. It's actually got on like 1.6 million views now. She's only on about 360k subs. That's like insane. But it's got a really good like to dislike ratio. All the top comments are basically saying, I believe this 1000%. She seems really genuine in this. Straight to the point, you know. So in that statement, she basically says, I didn't essay him, someone else did, but that's not my story to tell, and he knows that. She also says how he knows that James and Mason are lying, but because he's not denouncing it, well, he's not saying it's true, but he's also not saying it's a lie, so people are still thinking that it's the truth. She's saying that Mason and James have their own stuff that they've done that she can use against them, so they should probably stay quiet. She was also saying that her legal team is collecting evidence. She says that in high school she really didn't talk to anyone. She only had friends from the dance team, so it doesn't seem likely that she was ever mean to anyone because she didn't really hang out with anyone. And yeah, that's basically that. She says there's a legal team involved and how she didn't do any of the stuff that she's, you know, that they're saying she did. Now, since then, James and Mason have deleted all of the tweets. James, who is Jack's brother, basically a twin, basically put out a statement saying how they're going to be handling this offline now. You know, all the tweets were deleted, all the retweets and likes were deleted, they're all gone. Everyone's made statements now basically saying like, oh, things are going to be handled privately now. It's weird how much they've backtracked. I'm not trying to put blame on anyone or make anyone the innocent or the guilty, because innocent until proven guilty, like, I can't possibly say who is right, who is wrong, but it just seems very convenient that the moment she posts a very well-received statement, all of the retweets, likes are gone. And it is really interesting that at no point did Jack actually say, yes, this all happened. Like, James and Mason were just going at it and tweeting. At no point did Jack say, yes, this is all correct, I was treated this way. She also mentions a few things, like, when all of this was happening, people were finding old TikToks where she seemed like the crazy girlfriend. She would be like, you know, apparently she calls his mum when she can't get to him, all of this stuff.
You just played your mother self. You just played your mother self, cause I wasn't even trying to play you.
Writing's not that easy, but Grammarly can help. This sentence is grammatically correct, but it's wordy and hard to read.
She said that most of those TikToks were filmed because it was like both of their ideas, if that makes sense. Like, Jack would be there when she would be like posting all this like crazy girlfriend stuff, and he'd be laughing at it as well. It was like an inside joke between them. And I feel like that's when social media becomes very difficult to navigate. There are many times where two people, well, where the person posts something about someone else, but they've like both decided on this, and then out of context it looks weird, but when you get the context behind that stuff, you know, it's different. It's a different situation. So she was like, whenever there was all that like crazy girlfriend stuff, it was a joke between them, and she would post this stuff, but he would tell her what to post, if that makes sense. Like, they were all joking around about it. She's like, there's this one TikTok that everyone was bringing up where in the comments she was like exposing him and saying really crazy things. She was like, we were both in the back of a car and we were just like coming up with new ideas, and I just kept on like typing, and he would like tell me ideas, I would tell him ideas. So it was like an inside joke between them. So there's just like a lot of things that people didn't have context for. So it looked weird until we received the context, if that makes sense. So a bunch of stuff has now been deleted. They're both, you know, staying silent. I'm glad she's put out a statement now, but I'm waiting for Jack to say something. Because I feel like if it is true, then he should say that and warn other people against Sienna, since she has a large following of main children. But if it's not true, then once again, like, I feel like it would be the respectful thing to denounce the lies and not allow the lies to fester and spread. Anyway, the response has now switched 180 degrees. Like, people were so against Sienna, basically being like, she's always giving me weird vibes, I've always had a bad feeling about her, and now it's, oh my god, her statement's so good. So I feel like people just flip-flop so much. Just give people time to prove guilt or innocence. Like, until then, we don't know what's happening. So that's that for today's video. If you guys enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up, comment down below anything you want to comment down below, and subscribe to post videos every time something happens. So hit that bell, be notified when that's happening. Social media links and the links in the description. I'll see you in my next one. Bye guys.